Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the LMW Talk Show. Welcome, and I'm your host, Potato Strong. And today, the debate on the LMW Talk Show is: Are Disney ruining their classics with their live-action remakes? That is the debate, and that's what's sort of going on. So why have I decided to talk about this debate? Well, yesterday I saw the new Lion King yesterday, and I thought it was terrible. It was just mediocre at best. I gave it a 3 out of 10. It's just mediocre at best. I will get into later what I think the new Lion King is bad. I'll get into that later. Anyway, so today's topic is: Are Disney ruining classics with all these live action remakes? Well, we're going to talk about it and see at the end whether are they or are they not. So, obviously, I've been watching Disney for a very long time, and I've seen lots of Disney films. I've seen a lot of their classics, and don't get me wrong, their classics are fantastic. I think a beautiful um, general master art of work and everything. The classics has always been in everyone's childhoods, in everyone quotes lines from from Disney films and quote lines from Disney films. They sing a lot of songs from Disney films, and so everyone's like class. Everyone loves the classics, and everyone think like nearly everyone thinks, should classics be left alone? Should Disney be making these live action remakes of the classics? Well, here's the thing: is right now is you got some people, like me, who have grown up with the classics. They have grown up with it. We have all grown up with the classics, and we love the classics. And then you're gonna have some people where, and you're gonna have some people where they have some people where they have never seen any of the classics, and they just love the new live action remake. But there are some people have like maybe have watched the live action remake, thought that was really good, but then you got some people going like, well, how are you go and watch the classic and you see why we think that one's bad, and they would watch the classic and they would go, yeah, I can see your point. So far the live action remakes I have seen so far from Disney. I saw The Lion King yesterday, and I've seen the live action remake of Dumbo. I've seen the sequel of Mary Poppins. I know that's not a live action remake, that's actually a sequel. So anyone's gonna pump me out either in the comments or anything like that, say, oh no, Mary Poppins is a remake. It's not. It's actually a sequel. So that's actually a sequel. And I didn't quite like the new Mary Poppins myself. I thought none of the songs were memorable anyway. so um so let's get into it. So you got like the classics are like the masterpiece, and then the Disney. You can clearly see like they're doing live action remakes, doing these live action remakes that they are running out of ideas. Technically, Disney is running out of ideas. They are running out, and they're using these live, and they're picking one of their classics and make a live action remake with them, and it just shits all over the classics, and it's just like extremely annoying. It's like when I watched The Lion King yesterday. Don't get me wrong, I thought the graphics were fantastic. Don't get me wrong, the technology and the animation was brilliant, but I just thought some of the voice acting wasn't good. I just thought some of the scenes were just cringe and some of them were just ruined. You had like they took one of the best scenes in the classic, put that in the remake, but they executed poorly. And they only brought back two original actors from the film, James Earl Jones and the actress who says Sawali, Simba's mum. They only brought those two actors back. Me personally, they should have waited for Jeremy Irons to be back as Scar, because for me, Jeremy Irons is the only one who is Scar, and I thought the actor who did Scar wasn't that good. I'm pretty sure he's a brilliant actor, but he just did not hit it for Scar, and how they did Be Prepared, that was just ruined. So Disney are just like taking these, like you got all these best songs from the classics, and they're putting them in their live action remakes, and just making them a bit terrible or maybe a bit tiny better. But in the classic Dumbo, in the classic of Dumbo, they had like way more songs in the Dumbo classic in, I think, 1941. I think that came out. They had Dumbo the classic, which had way more songs, and it had the very iconic song of all time, "Have I Ever Seen an Elephant Fly," which is one of the best. It was one of the best Disney songs. But in the live action remake, they decided to get rid of that song, and in the live action remake, they only decided to use only Hug a Lullaby, I think it's called, where Dumbo's mother is cradle him with Dumbo. But don't get me wrong, that was really good. But the thing is, like, my problem is like in his live action remake, some of the CGI they use, some of them a bit really good and some of them a bit bad. I know Aladdin has been, but I haven't seen Aladdin, so I can't really make any comments on that. So anybody wants to make me any comments on the new Aladdin, I'm afraid I can't, because I have not seen it, but I know it got mixed reviews. So let's go back. I want to talk more about. Let's go back to The Lion King. Why I get that 3 out of 10. Like I said, I thought some of the voice acting was a bit poor. Some of the lines delivery, like that should be executed, wasn't executed. There were some scenes that were awkward. Some of the best scenes from the classic weren't in the live action remake, which made the classic better. And they just shitted on their songs, especially "Be Prepared." So I just felt like that was one of my childhoods ruined with the live action remake. And it just seems like Disney with these live action remakes, it just looks like Disney. Okay guys, we're running out of ideas. We can't think anything anymore of Disney films. What shall we do? And you'll go, how about let's take the classics, which is everyone's childhood, and let's make them into live action remake with all this new CGI and the new technology. And so great, yeah, because anyone who's never seen the classics, obviously well banged the book for the cinemas. Well, we're banging the book for the cinemas. It just looks like these live action remakes are just money grabs. That's what it all just look like. It's just like, because Disney will know, because everyone loves Disney. They will know making these live action remakes. People want to go to see these live action remakes to go, is this going to be better than the original? Is this going to be worse than the original? Is this going to be mediocre? What changes have they made? Or whatever. But that's what they're doing in these live actions remakes as well. They're actually adding some changes to some of to the classics, like they're either adding different scenes, or they're adding different scenes, or taking away different scenes. Like, what never understood why in the Lion King they added be our guest with Timon and that didn't make no sense. I'm sorry, but Timon doing the Hawaiian in the original Lion King, for me, that's one of the funniest from the Lion King. It is. For me, that is funny as fuck. And so, but the question is really should Disney carry on making their live action films? Well, I'm just gonna hold that thought a minute because we're gonna go that near the end, and I think of some ideas. So what live action remakes have they done so far? So far, they've done Dumbo, Cinderella, Aladdin, The Lion King, and then you've got Mulan coming along for 2020, and then you've got The Little Mermaid coming, and whatever they're gonna thing. But the thing is, I think with this live action remakes is, I think Disney are choosing the wrong films to turn into a live action. I think that's what's is going wrong. I think they're choosing the wrong films to be live actions. I think that's what me personally. Like, if you look at The Lion King, you can when you in the 1994 version, it came out in '94. When you watch that, it was the animation was more clever. The animation was more fantasy. You know, it had depth, and they had the clever ideas of all the clever ideas of making the scenes more fantasy and more projected and all this stuff. And when they did the music, it tied in really well with the animation. It really tied it in. But if you look at the live action remakes with all the CGI, and it's like they can't really do much fantasy and much creative ideas, either with the music or either with the scenes, like how the classics have done it. I mean, if you look at like Aladdin, the song Prince Ali. If you look in the classic, and the genie is being more magical and using more of his magic, like changing to different characters. He's buffing up Prince Aladdin, like with muscles, lifting up the guards and all that stuff. It was more creative. And if you look at the Prince Ali in the live action remake, I know I said I've never seen Aladdin, but I have seen the scene with the dead Prince Ali, the comparison. So in that they couldn't be any more creative. They couldn't be more creative. They're going with realism. They're going with like logic and all that stuff. And I think that's what's probably taken away a bit of the magic, because if you look at the classics, it's Disney is meant to be all about fantasy, magic, and all that stuff. And you can see in the animation they're bringing the magic and the animation and the magic and the fantasy together in the animation, because you can draw it easy. You don't have to work with that much special effects with live action. Whereas the live action, they can't really make any of that magic happen. I mean, if you look at the Lion King, the remake, like I said, I thought the CGI and the technology was fantastic. I mean, Simba looked very cute, and I thought and some of the visuals was breathtaking. I definitely agree with that. But the only problem is that the animation, the animators, they had a problem with making facial expressions and emotion. With the lions, there was no emotion. It just made the whole fucking film was just no emotion. It wasn't even fucking there. It was no emotion. It just looked, it just looked bland. You know, like the famous iconic scene when Simba is crying next to his dad. In the animation, you saw tears come out of Simba's eyes, and he's crying, and you can really see he was sad, and you feel sad for him. And when you look at the live action remake, it was just a line with no, it just like a line with no facial expression, no emotion. It just the voice actors just had to fucking somehow do emotion with their voices. And we're meant to look at and it's like, well, it's not being projected, it's not being executed. It's just weak. It's just pure on weak. And that's what the problem with the live action remakes is. Just like the animation trying to do, some of them just can't do it. And like, I think the Lion King should not have been remade. It should never been remade, in my personal opinion. It should have been left alone. There was nothing wrong with the original. There was nothing wrong. It's perfect. There's nothing bad in it. There's nothing to retouch. It's like the saying: if it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's what the saying goes. So really, Disney are like touching their film, touching their best classics that are not broken, but they think they need fixing. And it's like it doesn't. But here's the thing: I understand if Disney, like, I understand with Disney if they I understand with Disney if they took like maybe the Disney films that didn't do well in the box office, didn't do well in cinemas, or didn't make money, or they're terrible straight to DVDs or straight to VHS films, and they took that and turned that into a live action remake, or either a remake with the animation that we've got today, and it was better, I would totally be on Disney's side. Like, yeah, you are actually now fixing things that are broken, because like there are a few Disney sequels out there are like pure terror. For example, Cinderella 2 was completely terrible. And there's Beauty and the Beast 2. There's a winter one, and there's another one where they just argue like a couple, and there's the Hunchback Notre Dame 2, and that was a terrible sequel. So I think like if they turned those bad sequels into a live action remake, or into a better animation with a better story, or maybe with better characters, whatever, that would be fantastic. That would be like, yeah, Disney are like, we have forgotten these sequels that we did, but we knew in the past that these are terrible. But if we like revamp them, make them better, then people will be happy with that. That's not them running out of ideas. That's them, probably fixing their mistakes, what they did in the past. But it looks like they're trying to fix things that things are not a mistake, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, people have moaned about the remake of Mulan, because there's going to be no Mushu and there's going to be no singing. Because Make a Man Out of You, I think, is brilliant, and I think Eddie Murphy did a fantastic job as Mushu. But Mushu was a terrible character in Mulan 2. But that's not Eddie Murphy. Anyway, so and then you've already got the Little Mermaid remake coming out, and people have already moaned about the actress who's gonna play Ariel is a black character, is a black actress, 19-year-old girl. And people complained about in the original, the 1989 version, Ariel is white with red hair, but in Hans Christian Andersen's book, it's she's described actually why with blonde hair in the Little Mermaid in Hans Christian's book. She's actually blonde, not red. But I think people have been taking that too far. I think it's a good change. I think a black actress to give a go as a front lead, and I think Disney what trying Disney do, whereas maybe they're trying to get like maybe more black princesses. I think that's what they're doing. So I think that's really good because if you look at the whole Disney princess range, there's only one black Disney princess, which was from the Princess and the Frog, which took like around the year 2000s. And yeah, so but here's the thing: is like once like the live action remakes of already like when the trailers are out, people are already making judgments on them, and people are already making complaints. This is a problem. That should not be that. That should not be that. Or this person should not play that person. It's ruining the original. What are you doing, Disney? Which like it's what is going on. Like every time a trailer of a live action remake is out, everyone is like going fucking nuts and fucking complaining, and like definitely on social media is like pointing out their abuse like of of Disney doing these live action remakes. I mean, if you look at me, I'm a bit to say I'm not really that hyped up. But when I actually saw the trailer for Dumbo, I actually thought that was going to be a good film. I actually really did. I did give Dumbo a try. I missed the beginning, so I didn't know what happened. But I did watch it. I did feel disappointed from Dumbo. And the problem with me for the remake of Dumbo is it focused more on the humans than it did on Dumbo. It just made us so like Dumbo was a side character, and they took away really classical characters. Like decided none of the elephants couldn't talk. They decided to get rid of the crows because obviously people now see the crows as racist, and because one of them was called Jim Crow, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, or correct me on the YouTube comments when this video is released. There was like some white actors being pretending to be black people, I think, but so they got rid of they got rid of the crows, and then they got rid of the song "I Want to See Anything Fly," which made Dumbo good. But the only part I did not like in Dumbo was Michael Keaton's character and his acting. I thought Michael Keaton in Dumbo was terrible, and don't get me wrong, Michael Keaton's a brilliant actor, especially in Beetlejuice and Jack Frost. No doubt about that. He's a brilliant actor, and I think he's in Birdman as well. And I think he did a really fantastic job. But in Dumbo, he was just terrible. And the thing with the Dumbo live reaction remake as well is like Disney with that Dumbo, they did like this, make this propaganda. It's like a propaganda film that trying to make it look like this is what the circus do. They mistreat their animals. They mistreat their staff. And it just looked like they didn't try and tell the Dumbo story. Just trying to tell the story of look how the circus gets run. You know, the animals mistreated, the staff's mistreated. People care about the money. But Disney, it's 2018, 2019. It's not 1940s early, and the animals are way more looked after now in circus. So I thought that was a bit bad, and the CGI in Dumbo was a bit meh. Um. So yeah. And more the Lion King. It's like again the CGI, no facial expression, and like they're just taking like so should Disney be carrying on making live action remakes? That's the question. And are Disney actually really ruining their classics? Well, the question is, well, let's talk about the part of is should Disney carry on making live action remakes? And there's a bit of yes, and there's a bit of no. A bit of yes and a bit of no. Let's go to the no bit. I say the no bit of stop turning these classics into live action remakes. Just stop it, because like I said, Disney, you are breaking things that you think you're breaking things that are not broken, and you think so there's something you see something in the classics that are broken and somehow needs fixing where it doesn't need fixing. Like I said, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So with the Lion King being a classic, it wasn't broken at all. It was a fantastic, and now in this remake, you've broken it. And I think people are going to be torn. But I think definitely people are going to be torn apart between the Lion King, because you're going to have like some people I've never seen the Lion King, best film ever, never seen the original, best film, best ever. You've got like me, seen the classic, love it, watched the remake, fucking hate it. So so they need to start. So they need to stop that. The no bit. Start making live action remakes of their classics, like the best ones. But what I said, like the yes side of it, and what's the yes? What the yes? How about do the live action remakes, but do some of the classics that would not be too difficult, and you don't have to be that creative. That's not that creative, like like the Lion King, Dumbo, Aladdin, Mulan, and yeah, they were all like brilliant animation. But I think Mulan might give it a chance. I think they made the right choice of doing an all Asian cast. I think it's brilliant. And fair just getting Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen involved. That's gonna be brilliant. And actually, fun fact about Mulan: if you listen to "Make a Man Out of You" in Chinese, Jackie Chan's actually the singer, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so I think with the live action remake, they could take the ones that are not that creative, and it'd be easy to do live action remakes. Here's some films. Here's some films, Disney, that could be really easy. That could be really easy. For you guys to do live action remakes. Here's a few. What about The Fox and the Hound? I think that could be easily done as a live action remake. Fox and the Hound, because in the 80s it's an 80s classic. The animation, is not complicated. It's not it's not fantasy. There's no like, in the Fox, there's actually no music. No songs in it. It's just a simple tell story, of Todd and what's the other dog? I always forget his name. Copper, Todd and Copper. Between Todd and Copper. I can't believe I got there. anyway, between Todd and Copper, and it's just telling a story about them two with no songs or anything. So I think The Fox and the Hound could be easily done. Could be easily done by could be easily done by yeah, it could be easily done by in a live action remake. Very easily done. Because the animation you can like easily get a fox, a dog. I mean, you could use real life animals in it if you like. You don't have to use the CGI. Maybe you could just use the real animals. If not, maybe do CGI, but it will make maybe Todd more good. It make like Cooper look good, or maybe Todd can be a CGI fox, and then you got like real dogs. I mean, Fox and the Hound will be. I think it will be a brilliant live action remake, and maybe extend the story. Maybe another Disney film I think could get a good live action remake, and The Black Cauldron. Maybe not a lot Disney, if maybe not a lot, may not what the Black Cauldron is. The Black Cauldron was a Disney film back in the 80s. It was about like a farm boy who owns a pig, but he's got the powers to see the future, and one of them is the Black Cauldron. I think for me, the Black Cauldron, I think is one of the perfect films that could be a live action remake. For me, because like you can easily get actors, and you could easily, you could get a real pig if you wanted. I say keep Googie. I think some people did not like Googie in the Black Cauldron. I think some didn't like Googie, but for me, I like Googie. But maybe bring Googie, but maybe give him a different voice. Googie, Master has no friends. Mara's a terrible place. That's how he speaks. So maybe like get Googie, but maybe give him a different voice where maybe it doesn't sound annoying to some people, or maybe it sounds more clear. So maybe that, and you've got a very good live action film there. But I know the Black Cauldron it did do really well at the box office, and I know lots of people complaining the Black Cauldron was too scary for children. And to be honest, I watched the Black Cauldron as a child. It didn't scare me at all. I loved the Black Cauldron, and John Hurt, who he voices the head king, the head skeleton king. He was brilliant in that, and so that could be an easy, well done live action remake. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Swallow a bit. Anyway, that could be easy done as a live action remake. The Black Cauldron, and maybe another one they could do is Oliver and Company. That could be probably easily maybe done as a live action remake. Oliver and Company, maybe a 50-50. Maybe in that one you can probably get some famous singers in it. Like they did, they got Billy Joel to play Dodger, and they got Bette Midler to play Georgette. So I think the singers that we have today, I think they might probably do a good job. Maybe with Oliver and Company, just it's simple. It's obviously based on Charles Dickens's novel Oliver and Company, but I think that will be brilliant as a live action remake. But are Disney gonna do that? Would Disney even think about the 3 films I just mentioned, The Black Cauldron, Fox and the Hound, and Oliver and Company? Maybe, because everyone thinks Disney's plan is like they're gonna maybe remake every classic, maybe all the classics, then probably touch the sequels, all the ones went straight to VHS DVDs, maybe. But also in the yes bit, like I said, maybe turn the sequels into live action remakes, or maybe better animation. Made the what sequels failed and what got bad reviews. Remake them and make them better. That would be really good, because you got people who watch the original classics and everyone loves them, but when the sequels came out, people did not like them. No one didn't like Cinderella 2, Mulan 2, the Beauty and the Beast sequels, the Hunchback Notre Dame 2, and a few others. But they don't get me wrong, there are actually a few good sequels. You do have Back to Neverland, the sequel to Peter Pan. That was a really good sequel. The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and Lion King 1 and a third. I think that was really good. And some people say Cinderella 3 was a really good another sequel. It's a trilogy, but people said that was really good. So Disney can do the sequels sometimes, but here's the thing: when I thought The Lion King back again. I know going on about The Lion King, but the reason I go about The Lion King is I'm really fucking annoyed. Disney ruined The Lion King classic with this live action remake. I think what they could have done with The Lion King with the live action remake, I think what could have been better is if that Lion King was a prequel. Now, can you imagine that? The Lion King being a prequel. That would be fantastic. Because you think about it, what I kind of want to know, and maybe some other people who are fans of The Lion King, more people want to know Mufasa's past and Scar's past. Now, what were those two like growing up as cubs? Now, what were they like as brothers? Because here's the thing. You've got Scar, who is sinister, jealous, selfish, and self-righteous. He's a prick, but a really good sinister prick to entertainment. Well voiced by Jeremy Irons. But here's the thing. He really wants to become king, and he gets jealous of Mufasa, jealous of Simba. But here's the thing. What was it in Scar's past that made him jealous towards Mufasa, and why was Mufasa the one who became king? Was he wiser? Was he stronger? Did the parents looked up to more to Mufasa than Scar? And that could be something really could look into in Disney. If it was a live action if it was a live action, but it was a prequel to The Lion King, I think that I would not mind that at all. I would definitely go and pay to watch that. There you go, Disney. I just gave you an idea, and I just made you money. So yeah. So there you go. I just made you money, Disney. There's an idea for you. Make a prequel of The Lion King, but base it on Mufasa and Scar, of those two growing up. That would be brilliant. That would be a really good film. And here's the thing: how to end the film? It could have ended Simba, ended with Simba being born. Maybe the last final scenes would have been the beginning scenes of the first film. That would have been really good. Do the prequel, like Simba and Mufasa and Scar growing up, end of the film, it's the beginning of the first film. That would have been fantastic. That would have made I know it's not a live action remake, but that would have been a really good one, like as a live action, or maybe with the CGI and the technology that Disney has. That would have been more fantastic. That would have been brilliant. And like I said, live action remakes on the classic it's going shit at right now, but maybe the box office doing well because it's Disney. Obviously, the classic, and people want to know good, bad, better, or mediocre, and that's why. So that really brings the question of is Disney ruining their classics of everything I just said? Well, here's the thing. At the moment, it's going to a yes. They are ruining their classics at the moment, Disney. But can they bring a redemption? Can they redeem themselves? I think they can. If they did the right films that can be easily done as a live action remake, then that would be brilliant, and that would be really good. here's another one. What about the Hunchback Notre Dame? That could be easily done as a live action remake. That could be easily done. It's a really well done story told by Victor Hugo, the same guy who did Les Miserables. The everyone really liked the cartoon. It had really good songs and a good story. But maybe in the live action remake that could be easily done. But the only problem is maybe they might probably step back from probably the Hunchback Notre Dame now, because obviously on April 15th the Notre Dame got caught on fire, so it'll be maybe too close to the events. So if they did Hunchback Notre Dame, because there is a scene in Hunchback, it doesn't get caught on fire, but it does actually. There was a burning near the building, and then it gets destroyed between Frodo waving his sword and Cosimo destroying the pillars with his pure strength with the chains. I don't know, or maybe they might leave that scene out in the live action remake, but then maybe you can get probably the right actors, and to play the characters. You could easily get an actor who could prosthetic, make a good Quasimodo, and you got like the right location. You got Powers fans to get the right location. So, but probably in the live action remake, maybe leave out the gargoyles. I mean, some people were 50-50 with the gargoyles from the Hunchback Notre Dame, because the Hunchback Notre Dame is really a dark story. And when it's getting to the darkness bit, you got the gargoyles, lighting everything and trying to make everything happy to get distracted from the darkness that's going on. But I probably in the live action remake maybe get rid of the gargoyles and maybe just keep it as what it is. I mean, that'll be really good. And then maybe do the sequel. Yeah, because there is a sequel to Hunchback Notre Dame, but it was terrible. There's some circus guy wants to steal a bell from the Notre Dame, and he's like one of the worst Disney villains. But it's nice to see Quasimodo was getting a girlfriend. That was really nice. But it was just terrible. I mean, here's the thing with Disney is when they do the first films, the animation is top, it's brilliant. But when they come to do these sequels, and when they come to do these sequels, and when they go straight to DVD and video, they just tone down the animation. If you look at the animation in Hunchback, it's brilliant. But if you look at the animation in the sequel, it's terrible. It's downgraded. So maybe with Hunchback Notre Dame, you've literally got 2 live action remakes right there that can be rightly made, because it's not too complicated. Because the animations on The Lion King, they had an impossible fucking job to do on those lines. An impossible job. That's what I mean. They're doing these live actions that are impossible to do. But if they did the right films that are not impossible to do with live action, then no one will have a problem. Or maybe do the live action remakes, or maybe the classics that didn't do well in the box office or didn't do well selling. Do that. That could work way more better. Way more better. The Lion King was successful, Aladdin was successful, and another one remake I forgot, Beauty and the Beast. I forgot about that one, nearly did. And they remade Beauty and the Beast, but the Beauty and the Beast 91 version, that was done. That was brilliant. The Lion King did well, Dumbo did well, Aladdin did well, Mulan did well, etc. So, but if you look at the other classics, like the Black Cauldron, Oliver and Company, and Fox and the Hound, they didn't do quite well. they didn't do quite well, especially the Black Cauldron. But if you like live action, the Black Cauldron, and some people might forget the Black Cauldron is a Disney film. That could amp it up. That could be done. So Disney, as a fan, and because I love you guys, and I've been to Disney World, I've been to your Disney World Florida, Resort Florida, and your Paris one. Both brilliant theme parks, by the way. But you listen, guys. You need to stop doing live action remakes on the classics that does not need to be live action remakes. Pick the ones, like I said, that didn't do well in the box office. Turn them into live action remakes, and they could do better at the box office. And also, definitely make a prequel to The Lion King. That will get everyone's interest. That will get in everybody's interest. Doing the prequel to The Lion King. So that will make you more money, But right now, Disney, you're just kind of showing like you've run out of ideas. You're just using the classics to make money. That's what it just looks like. I mean, if you look at your companion Pixar, they've done a great job with Toy Story 4 and Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Because they had ideas and they weren't fucking about. They knew what they were doing. But it's like Disney is like lost sight of like what they're doing, If you look at it from the 1930s, 40s, and they had so many ideas, they had so many creative ideas, and now it just looks like right now they're just running out of ideas. It is, and I just literally just gave him a bunch of ideas. Lion King prequel, remake ones that didn't do well at the box office, and easier ones. That will do. But probably right now the Lion King remakes being out, they probably might do The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride as a live action remake, but probably this time get some better voice actors and probably get animation that has emotions. I know like loads of people are gonna go me like I sound like I'm hating Disney, and then I sound like I'm shitting all over the Lion King, but I'm not shit. I'm just giving out the honest truth on this show. The LNW talk show is all about honesty, and that's what you're gonna get from me. And all of that was pure honesty. So Disney. So that's the question: is Disney ruining their classics? Yes, at the moment. So. Anyone anyone wants to debate with me, this will be uploaded to YouTube. Put comments definitely put your opinions and your debate on my YouTube channel, which is the LNW Entertainment Show. Put your comments on there. Put your debate, and then I'll make another part, our Disney Ruiner Classics Part 2. But probably you'll want to know maybe why if I gave The Lion King a 3 out of 10. Like I said, the good parts was like the animation, the story, they trying to keep it scene to scene, all that stuff. But the only thing that did bad was some of the voice acting, some of the songs, and they took away the best jokes from the original, and they just shitted all over that. And there was no motion to the film. And they decided to add a few new scenes. The only one that I liked they added new was Nala escaping from Pride Rock. I thought that was really good. Fair due, because in the original Lion King, you didn't know, like, how did Nala escape from Pride Rock, or how does she, why does she, leave and all that stuff. So you can clearly see, and I liked it in the remake as well. They did more character development on Simba's mum, Zawali. So I thought that was really good. But it's just everything is. Seth Rogen did okay as Pumbaa. I like Seth Rogen, funny guy, he's hilarious. But for me, and the guy did alright as Timon, but for me, Nathan Lane as Timon, I can't remember the other guy's name who did Pumbaa, but did a fantastic job. For me, Nathan Lane as Timon, the other guy's Pumbaa is Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah, and they're brilliant, and those two really did stuck. They stuck with the trilogy, and they did the mini cartoon series. Has always been them two. But I think the Disney live action remake would have been slightly better if they did bring some of the original cast, like Nathan Lane, the guy who did Pumbaa, and then Jeremy Irons as Scar. Because the actor who did Scar, probably brilliant actor, but his voice was just too bland and monotone. It didn't put any emotion to Scar. It just sounded like angry all the time and not sinister at all. And his voice did not match Be Prepared. His voice did not match that song at all. Not like Scar's, not like Jeremy Irons. Even though Jeremy Irons didn't do the singing of Be Prepared, it was actually either Tim Rice or I think it was Jim someone. It's either Tim Rice or Jim someone. It was one of them two who did the singing of doing Jeremy Irons' voice in Be Prepared. Beyonce's voice did not match Nala at all. I think that was a wrong cast choice. I'm probably going to get killed by Beyonce fans now. But you're just going to get the honest truth. I didn't think she was the right actress for... Well, she's not an actress, actually. I didn't think she was the right person to do Nala. I think the other Nala did better. Yeah, and I thought the Hyenas was boring, and I thought, no Ed, and I thought the two guys doing, do you mind not getting my personal space? I thought that was just bland. It didn't work. They're trying to work a joke out of it, but it just did not fucking work at all. And this is what's going on in the live action remakes. It's like they are removing the best jokes and the best comedy out of the originals, and they're trying like these new jokes in the live action remakes, but they're just not funny. It's like they're trying, like the Hyenas, like give my personal space. It's like my personal space. It just looked like they were trying to make it funny. It was just like hard work and trying. And I feel sorry for the two actors had to really work on that, like trying to make that funny. They probably thought this is not hilarious. So yeah, so what other but what for me? What live action? What classics should leave alone? I think Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think leave that alone. But they probably might do it. But they could. Yeah, they probably will. They could get Seven Dwarf actors. They probably could. They probably might. I think maybe that could be a live action. Maybe. I think Snow White maybe could be a live action. Changed my mind now. I'm more thinking about it. I think Snow White could. I think that could be a good live action. Yeah. You just need actors, Seven Dwarf actors. Like they've done with with the Huntsman and other films. I think that could be done. Bambi, leave that alone. Pinocchio, definitely leave that alone. Pinocchio, leave that one alone. Lady and the Tramp, leave that one alone. Sequel, I think was really good. Anyway, I did like Scam's Adventure. I think that was a good sequel. But the original, leave that alone. Peter Pan, leave that alone. Maybe others, but I think the ones they definitely can leave action make is Hunchback of Notre Dame, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Black Cauldron, Oliver and Company, and The Fox and the Hound. those are the ones I think they can be easily done as live action remakes. But the ones they're doing now is not. So here's the thing, Disney. You need to get this sorted, because I think now some people are getting sick and tired of now these live action remakes, and they're just shitting over it, just ruining the original. It's just ruining the originals, the classics. I think what Disney need to do to save this is just come up with a new film, or just either make sequels or maybe prequels, maybe tying in into the classics, maybe. Like I said, like they could easily do a prequel to the Lion King. That can be easily done. Maybe they could do a prequel maybe to Hunchback Notre Dame, but probably need the license for that. No, because it could probably learn more about maybe Quasimodo's mom, and maybe learn more about Frodo's past. Maybe. But like I said, I think that answered the question. Really, is Disney ruining the classics? Yeah, at the moment, and it's just sad and annoying, and angry at the same time. I think I am running out of things to make points on. Yeah, I think I am running out of my opinion points. But like I said, this is a talk show, so if anyone, like I said, wants to give their opinions about this or debate it with me, like I said, I'll upload this onto my YouTube channel, the LNW Entertainment Show, and just put your comments on YouTube, and you tell me what you think. Yeah, so I think that's the big, massive debate. Is Disney ruining their class? I think that's what it is. So I hopefully, if any Disney employees, or if you're watching this, if you might find this, like I said, I just gave you an idea what films you could turn to live action remakes, and which ones you left alone, and what ideas you can do. Maybe with the Lion King, maybe make another sequel. What if maybe do a sequel of maybe Kiara being queen, and Kiara being queen of Pride Rock, and how she's gonna deal with maybe doing how she's gonna handle Pride Rock, and maybe Kovu either king or something like that. Maybe that looks interesting. Make a sequel of Lion King 2. That will be really good. There you go. Another idea for you, Disney. Make a sequel of Lion King 2. Lion King 2. The sequel to Lion King 2. That'll be really good. I think that's the two things you could do with the Lion King. Prequel based on with Fast and Scar, how they grew up. Sequel to number 2, Nala is queen of Pride Rock. Maybe Kovu is king. There would be fantastics. No, those two would be fantastics. No doubt at all. So anyway, this has been the LNWM talk show with your host, Protect the Strong. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who came on. Anyway, so this has been the LNW Entertainment Show. Sorry, this is the LNW Talk Show. I'm your host, Protect Strong. Thank you all so much for listening. And that's the end of the debate of is Disney ruining their classics? Which to think they are. And I'll see you all next time on the. And I'll see you all next time on the Alan W Talk Show.